Hi everyone, this is Dr. Love here. I wanted to explain to you about Photovoice as I promised. You probably heard of this saying before, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Photovoice utilizes this saying. If you see a picture, it invokes emotions, also your thinking, also allows conversations to occur. That's one of the reasons why museums and exhibitions are very popular, because we're able to see what others are thinking, showing, etc. So, what is photo voice? Well, photo voice will allow us to reflect. Instead of utilizing all words in our reflection, I would like to use photo voice as a technique for us to converse and also build a community in this setting. We'll talk a little bit more about photo voice, what it is, how it started, for those of you who never heard of it and want to learn more. And then I'll talk a little bit more about what you're going to be doing through various different demonstrations and also websites that I'll link here, because I want to make a short video to tell you what it is. So let me tell you what Photo Voice is. It's a participatory action research methodology. It's used in community-based participatory research in public health. It started with Carolyn Wang and Mary Ann Burris in the early 1990s to promote health promotion. Of course, photo voice is used in education and other settings as well, but like I said, it is very, very popular and has roots in public health. And as you know, I am public health professional, so although I am a big quantitative researcher, I am very fond of this technique, because any mode to promote engagement and communication in any way, to break away that language barrier, assumptions, and to spice up our conversation, I'm all for it. So these two researchers, what they did in 1997 is to utilize this photo voice to identify, represent, enhance their community through specific photographic technique, which is in this case a photo voice. And it's easy to do, especially now with our smartphones. We're able to take pictures all over the place, not to mention social media, where, for instance, Instagram, stories, a whole bunch of places where people are posting their pictures all over the place, right? So in this class, there's going to be 3 goals using photo voice. Record and reflect, meaning we're going to talk about strength and concerns. Usually you snap about 3 to 6 pictures and probably pick 1 or 2 best pictures that represents what you're thinking, what you want to communicate. It also promotes critical dialogue and knowledge about important issues. I would like for us to talk about your own research topic for this class. Although it would be easy for me to say, hey, let's all talk about COVID, or some other thing that's happening right now, I think it'll be really meaningful for this class for you to pick a topic that you're going to research on for the final project and how it relates to you, the community, the surroundings, and how you can reach the policymakers and encourage the adaptation. For instance, for your family or your friends. It doesn't have to be legislators in your state or in the United States or other countries. Just to think a little bit more globally in terms of your impact of your research, because a lot of times academics, what sometimes we tend to do is think about theories and converse about what is a possibility, but not necessarily talk about the practicalities and how we can communicate to the community whom we serve. So after all, we want to make the world a better place, and through our research, critical thinking, and all our efforts could do that. So these 2 researchers that I talked to you about, they started the Photo Voice to promote and encourage the adaptation of health promotion policies. So it became really popular. The elements of photo voice is very easy: photographs and narratives. So you take pictures, and then the narratives, you're able to discuss them in your own words, utilizing a technique that is systematic, very easy to do, and I'll explain to you. It's called SHOWed, is the acronym that I will talk to you in a few slides later. So those of you who are interested in Photovoice, usually there's a project manager who is like a conductor who oversees a project, including the time management, funding, and specific project topics. So in this case, that's me, your professor. There are facilitators. If the group is large, we usually have the lead facilitators, assistant facilitators, to make sure that the conversation is heading towards the right direction, as opposed to smaller conversation off to the side. And you have the participants as well as part of the Photovoice. What do you need? Usually you need cameras, writing implements, computer pads, iPads, printer. Another important aspect, if you're using this as a research, is consent forms. You have to get institutional review board approval. If you're doing this for research, and voice record of it if you are recording people's voices, and a photo display board. So in this case, it's going to be done virtually, so you're not going to have boards. However, it is in person. We have boards that you can display your photographs. Another ethical concerns that I do want to consider, that you want to consider as you're thinking about this, especially if you want to do this for research and future projects in the future, is adult versus children. If you're working with children, you have to get parental consent. Also, if you are using photos that are identifiable, you want to get some informed consent to make sure that you can utilize them for your research. Project participants, you want to make sure you protect them, and also protect the communities, and make sure that the pictures that you're taking does not give false light, meaning a snapshot in one time period may not be a full picture of what's going on, for instance. So you want to make sure that it is an informative picture that shows what you're talking about. Some of the techniques in terms of the process and Photovoice, it is, there's a lot of planning, but in this case, for this class, I'm utilizing it for reflections, so you can think about how your research fits into your life, community, as well as your society and country globally, etc., to look at outward as well as inward. There's planning. You're going to take pictures. There's going to be discussions that are done through in class, as well as in the learning management system, where you're going to have discussion boards where you can show your pictures and narratives. And there's going to be some processing and exhibit happens in the virtual world. So it's exciting, right? Anyway, so the questions that you need to ask as you are taking some questions and pictures is this: what are you taking pictures of? You can't take pictures randomly. Does it stand out? Are you using color, black and white? What perspective are you, bending down and looking at things at a child's perspective, or are you taking pictures from a crowd? Are you taking pictures from what perspective? And have you heard of rule of thirds? So although you may have the main subject, you may not want to place them in the center. You may want to place them in the thirds. So look it up if you have not seen it before. And the showed method that you're going to utilize for this Photovoice, for the reflection, is this: what did you see here? What is really happening? What does this relate to our lives? And in this case, we're referring back to your final project and to your life, to this class. Why is this situation, concern, and strength exist? So why are you studying this research question as you're taking pictures, and how does it relate to what we're learning in the class, and what can we do about it? So in our case, what we're doing about it is utilizing our brain and observation powers and research techniques to and analytical skills to address some of the issues that you're seeing in your environment, community, society, the world, etc. So I cannot wait to see all your photo voices each week. And like I said, if you're a little rusty, do not worry about it. We're going to learn as we go, and you're going to find so much about yourself as we go through the project. So here's some references. I'll post them in the discussions so you could take a look, and I hope you enjoy the video. Take care, and I'll see you in the class next week. Bye bye.